A Kentucky woman is accused of targeting her former mother-in-law in a wicked plot. The older woman is highly allergic to peppers, and authorities say Tiffany Gregory not only tried to force her to come into contact with them, but she even allegedly got 2 kids involved in the scheme. We are taking a closer look at the case and the serious consequences that could have followed if her alleged plan had been successful. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, real quick, if you're in a business of some kind, gotta tell you this. Big shout out to Odoo for sponsoring today's Law&Crime YouTube takeover. Odoo is an incredible all-in-one business management software that provides a range of accounting, manufacturing, and sales applications. To grow a successful business, it's important to stay focused on the creative vision, that's what matters, and not get bogged down by things like invoicing and balancing the books. That's where Odoo comes in. They are a one-stop shop game changer that gives users a clean, modern dashboard designed to provide all of your business needs. Take Odoo's accounting tool, okay? It utilizes smart AI to check bank balances, cash flow, vendor bills, invoices, all in one place. Maybe you need help with manufacturing. Odoo's apps can actually sync your inventory to purchases and keep everything running smoothly in just a few clicks. From the assembly line to the sale, Odoo's easy-to-use software helps you manage it all. And right now, you can get a free 15-day trial of Odoo's all-in-one business solution to give your business the cutting edge. Check it out at odoo.com/takeover. 34-year-old Tiffany Gregory is facing a slew of charges after police in Louisville, Kentucky say she intentionally tried to cause her former mother-in-law to have a severe allergic reaction. I know, this is a different one. So, local media outlet WDRB reviewed court records and reports that in early July, Gregory was with an 11-year-old and 8-year-old, and they were apparently planning to go to the zoo. Now, her exact connection to the children kind of remains unclear, but police have indicated that the children were the victim's grandkids. Okay, so Gregory told them, or apparently told them, that they needed to, quote, run an errand before the zoo. And that is when she reportedly had the kids stomp on bell peppers, of all things, which she apparently put inside a birthday gift bag. And she allegedly tried to get the kids to take the bag up to her ex-mother-in-law's porch. But according to reporting from WKLY, the children knew that this mother-in-law, this woman, had an allergy, so they refused to take it. Instead, Gregory reportedly had a friend leave the bag on the woman's car, and a birthday card was apparently included and reportedly read, "You ruined my life. Enjoy your allergic reaction, B." Wow. So the victim later identified herself publicly as Deborah Williams, who apparently has a severe allergy to both peppers and penicillin. Gregory, by the way, was previously married to Williamson, so now you see the connection here. Fortunately, here's the good news. Williams' husband was the one who found the bag, so Williams didn't come into contact with it. And the children that Gregory had tried to essentially or allegedly get involved in her scheme told their mom what she'd done, and then the mom called the police. Detectives launched an investigation, and they found out this wasn't the first time that Gregory had allegedly targeted the victim. Okay? To talk about this, to talk about the alleged multiple attempts to put Williams in danger, what the potential consequences of this could have been for her, because let me tell you, I am no allergy expert, shocker, but I want to bring in right now a special guest. We're joined once again here on Sidebar by retired forensic pathologist Mary Jumbelic. Mary, thank you so much for taking the time. It's great to see you. This is a sinister plot, if true. And Williams has this allergy that apparently a lot of people were aware of, and Gregory allegedly tried to use it against her. How often have you heard of something like this, you know, an allergy as a method of potential attack? I haven't heard something like this.
Well, I mean, allergies should be taken seriously. So someone can have a very severe reaction to penicillin, to shellfish, to peanuts, and it can put them at death's door. Their throat swells up, they swell up, they turn red, they get itchy. When it affects the airway, they can die if not treated really quickly. So anaphylactic allergies are to be taken very seriously. That being said, used as a sort of poisoning method, if you will, is very unusual. But if someone is trying to hurt someone and they know a weakness that they have, such as a severe allergy to a substance, then that would be a method they could try nefariously.
You know what's scary about this, if these allegations are true, If she didn't allegedly write the note about the allergy, would it have even been detected, right? Isn't that scary?
You mean linked back to the suspect?
Right, like this bag, if there wasn't a note saying about the allergy, if it was just the bag and was brought in and Williams had contact with it, that's scary.
Well, again, I don't know the potential victim's level of allergy.
Sure.
Things can range from getting itchy on the skin to dying from airway obstruction. So it's a very broad range that people can express for allergies, and I don't know hers. But if she was that allergic and she just touched a substance that had touched the offending peppers and that made her really sick, then yes, that would be really terrible. They still might have traced it back, though, to the suspect because maybe there would be fingerprints on it. So in other words, once the victim felt sick and realized it was contact with something, maybe that would have been tested.
Well, let me ask you this, and thank goodness she's okay, but if there was a situation where someone died in a post-mortem examination, how easy is it to detect that someone died from an allergic reaction? Can it be masked as something else? I mean, what are some of the telltale signs that you would be looking for to be able to determine if it was an allergy?
When someone dies from anaphylaxis, which is the most severe of the allergic reactions you can have to substances, you can see that in the body. And you can do blood tests in the body as well. So you'll see the throat will have edema and swelling, and the skin may show changes of being red or blotchy. There may have been symptoms expressed by the victim as they collapse. I can't breathe. I don't feel right. I feel lightheaded. My skin's itchy. Any of a number of things, if they were with someone, that they might express, and then that would be told to the investigator.
This is a very juvenile question, but I'm going to ask it nonetheless. I'm prefacing this, okay? You might be able to determine, based on these circumstances that you were saying, that there might have been an allergic reaction. If, God forbid, this was a situation that we were dealing with where she, really was in a terrible state, could you be able to detect that it came from the peppers? In other words, if you could say someone had an allergic reaction, can you link it back to a specific food, a specific substance, a specific allergy, or is that impossible? I mean, again, I'm not a medical expert, but I do wonder if someone is really allergic to a pollen or someone's really allergic to some sort of some substance, could it be in their airwaves? I mean, again, juvenile question, but I'm just curious.
Well, for one thing, people that die from anaphylaxis, it's usually not the very first time they're exposed to, say, penicillin. They'll have a milder reaction, then you know they're allergic, and then if they are exposed in the future, it might be a more severe reaction. So to your point, would we see that at autopsy? We would see the person died of an allergic reaction, and it would be the investigation piece of it that would figure out what that person was allergic to. I have done cases where someone will be on a running track and they drop dead, and you think maybe their heart gave out, and you're examining them, you realize, oh, it's a bee sting. They had an anaphylactic reaction to a bee sting. So while they're running along, the bee came along, and we see that in the airway and inside the body, and then we do testing and we prove that by the reaction in their blood that we can see.
Now, as I mentioned, this wasn't the first time that Gregory allegedly tried to hurt her former mother-in-law. Why do I say that? Because according to WDRB, investigators learned from the 11-year-old child that Gregory had apparently gone to Williams' home a few weeks earlier, quote, to drop off legal paperwork. And that's when Gregory allegedly rubbed some sort of pink substance on the driver's door handle of Williams' car. And apparently, Williams saw the substance just before she opened the door and wiped it off. But she later woke up in the hospital, having apparently been treated for an allergic reaction, according to an arrest report that was reviewed by WDRB. And a reporter from WDRB actually spoke directly with Williams about her experiences with Gregory, who was arrested, by the way, on July 29th, charged with stalking, wanton endangerment, 2 counts of unlawful transaction with a minor. And when asked about the incident where she ended up in the hospital, Williams said it happened on Father's Day when she and her husband were sitting in their garage. And Williams told WDRB, "I happened to see something pink on the car. I thought maybe a kid had stuck bubble gum or something on the handle. I didn't have a napkin, so I wiped it with my hand. It was liquidy, not sticky. I went back in the garage, sat down, lit a cigarette, took 2 puffs, and I couldn't breathe. My whole body it was like it was shaking on the inside. I got to the bed, and then I don't remember. My daughter and granddaughter said I was having seizures and convulsing. Now, Williams told the reporter that she thinks some sort of penicillin was rubbed on the door handle. Okay, now, Mary, does that make sense to you? I guess the better question is, if that's true, that's a really insidious way to attack somebody, but also a very concentrated way to make sure that there is there's skin contact.
Yes, penicillin allergies are very serious, and doctors pay attention to that when someone comes into their office before they prescribe anything to them, and certainly any antibiotic. So pink substance could be liquid amoxicillin given by a pediatrician to another patient. We used on the door handle, but the skin absorption of the amoxicillin, penicillin, whatever antibiotic in that family would be enough for someone with a severe penicillin allergy to express the symptoms that the victim did.
Now, Gregory had also reportedly been spotted driving past Williams' house on multiple occasions and had been sending her, or allegedly sending her, threatening messages. She also apparently took a video of Williams in line at Walgreens without Williams' knowledge, sent it to her, seemingly to, let her know that she was watching. That seems to be the allegation. And the mother of the children, allegedly involved in this bell pepper incident, Juliana Rodriguez, told WDRB that there is a domestic violence order in place involving Gregory's ex-husband, who's Williams' son. So that court order allegedly bars Gregory from having any contact with that side of the family, according to Rodriguez. Williams told WDRB, "I have already forgiven her. I can't hold animosity. I want to go to heaven, and if I judge her and I'm angry with her, God is going to judge me the same way. I don't want her to go to prison. I want her to get help. She needs some serious, intense psychological help." Mary, back to you. If Gregory wasn't caught and this behavior continued, in your experience, do you think that this could have escalated? Do you think that this could have gone worse? It's more of an investigatory question, but it's more of an investigative question, I should say. But do you think that this pattern is something you've seen before?
Well, certainly I've done a lot of cases where there might be an order of protection in place, and then ultimately a fatal act occurs, and it's unfortunate. The person dies from the violence. But I can't really analyze this woman's motives and intent or the psychological background to what she's doing. But what she did do, if she did it, was put Williams' life at risk in a very, very serious way. So, I don't know the legalities of attempted murder, but knowing someone has a severe allergy and then exposing them purposefully to that substance is very serious.
By the way, kind of like a call to action here. In your experience, your expertise, if anybody is around somebody who is experiencing symptoms of an allergic reaction, what should they do immediately?
Well, immediately call 911. But if they haven't, they should. When people know they have a severe allergy, they often carry an EpiPen with them. So go into their purse or their whatever and see if there's an EpiPen there, because they might be experiencing too severe symptoms to be able to say or to do that themselves. Inject the EpiPen. It doesn't take a medical personnel to do that, and it's not going to harm someone if they were having a heart attack versus an allergic reaction. But so there's that that you can do right away. But and CPR when all else fails. But in the end, sometimes the emergency services need to actually put a hole and open up their airway to breathe for them, because the upper airway is so swollen you can't get air in. So just doing mouth to mouth is not going to save them. You have to get below the swelling.
Such a scary situation. Such a scary situation. Again, this could have, take the allegations as true, could have been much different kind of consequences. On July 30th, one day after she was arrested, Gregory had her arraignment hearing. The judge entered a not guilty plea on her behalf. Cash bond was set at $25,000, and as of this recording on Friday, August 1st, she is still listed as an inmate at the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 7th. Mary Jumbelic, thank you so much for coming on. Great seeing you.
Thanks.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.